What's going on, my St. Louis City fam? I'm your girl Kelly, giving you the lowdown on what happened in St. Louis City government this week, and I'm gonna get right into it because they had your girl busy this week. So the first highlight: the investigation of the city toll lot operations. It officially kicked off on Tuesday with a meeting that lasted damn near 5 hours. Yes, y'all. So during this meeting, folks representing the comptroller's office specifically, there were three fellas, Mr. Fletcher, Mr. Bell, Mr. San. So they, you know, participated in the audit of the city toll lot and they discussed their findings. And then also we had the streets commissioner, Mr. Flake. He was present and he was present to, again, provide his perspective as being the current head honcho of the city toll lot. So the comptroller's office conducted three different audits, one in 2018 looking at the coin that was coming into the toll lot, and then two different audits in 2021, so this year, looking at the operations of the city toll lot as well as reviewing the payroll processes or whatever. So there were quite a few issues found, but I'm going to highlight kind of, I guess, the most pressing of them, so to speak. So first, apparently the toll lot, they didn't have an updated document regarding their policies and procedures. Something else that was mentioned was that they really needed to improve their record keeping and handling of cash payments from folks buying the cars at the auction. So apparently when companies purchase vehicles from the auction, they pay in cash, or excuse me, they pay by check. However, individual citizens, when they buy these vehicles from the auction, they pay in cash. And apparently the transactions were happening right on the lot. Yeah. There was also concerns raised that there is no separation of roles and responsibilities with the staff in the lot. Like they mentioned, there was one person that was literally doing all of the stuff with the auction, collecting the cash, doing this, that, and the third, which is not a good look because you need to split that up, checks and balances, accountability, yeah, stuff like that. Good reasons to make sure you have different folks doing those different responsibilities. And then lastly, apparently with regards to the crushing of the cars, I guess the comptroller's office said there were over 40 cars that had been crushed or whatever, but wasn't NAN documentation for those 40 plus cars. So that's not good. So something else that was raised during the meeting, other questions and issues just in general with some of the processes and how things kind of flow. First, what happens with the money? So apparently when folks purchase a vehicle at the auction, so you know they get the money, the city toll lot get the coin, then it gets placed into some type of an escrow account, then it goes to the treasurer, then they don't know where it goes after that. Also, when it comes to the cars being auctioned and just like contacting the owner of the vehicle, so your car gets towed to the lot, you are contacted via certified mail if you're a title holder saying, hey, we got your car. If you don't show up in 30 days, sucks for you because it will be auctioned off. And then that's it. There's no follow-up, nothing. So Streets Commissioner Mr. Flake, he did provide some responses to some of those findings that were found with the audit done by the comptroller's office. He said that they were really working on making things better based off of some of the recommendations. He mentioned that they have terminated one employee and that they went ahead and hired a third-party auctioneer. And this auctioneer, this third-party other, outside company, they have a protected trailer so that, again, they're not just kind of chilling out there with this coin. And they're also keeping records of every transaction. He also wanted to address, hey, yeah, I know we've been operating without a comprehensive policy manual for years. However, he was saying that they didn't have enough administrative, clerical staff to kind of get that stuff together because it was really all hands on deck when it came to towing these damn cars because they ain't got enough staff to do that. So that was mentioned, but again, they are working on getting that together. And also the discrepancy with cars being crushed. He mentioned that the company that does the crushing of the cars, they invoice them every quarter. And so, he'll do what he needs to do to make sure that those missing documents, everything is reconciled with the comptroller's office, so they can work together to sort it all out. So yeah, y'all. So we'll see. Again, that was the first meeting, and there will be more to come next week on that. The second highlight I wanted to mention, the Board of Aldermen Committee's power to subpoena, aka Resolution 96. If passed, it authorizes the use of subpoena powers for the following Board of Aldermen committees: Housing, Urban Development and Zoning, Legislation, Neighborhood Development, Parks and Environment, Personnel and Administration, Public Employees, Public Safety, Public Utilities, and Ways and Means. So there was some feedback from some of the alder people, specifically Gunther and Bryce, saying they didn't see the difference between this resolution and the Board of Aldermen rules, aside from the listing of those specific committees. However, President Lewis Reed and Alderman Boyd, who I believe they're kind of like the main co-sponsors of the bill, said there is a difference with this resolution because it finalizes it formalizes the authority of those committees to serve those subpoenas in extreme cases when they've been reaching out to these departments and stuff, and the departments ain't giving them the information that they need. Alderwoman Rice also mentioned some other issues she had around legality. Again, she's saying, I'm not against committees having subpoena power, whatever. I'm not against it, but she wants to make sure that it's done right. And also, she expressed not wanting to degrade relationships with city departments. She asked to get the city councilors' input before they kind of move on this resolution. And the chair for this committee, Alderman Coder, said, "Hail to the nah, we voting on this today." And so the committee, they did end up passing the resolution out of committee with a do pass resolution. Earlier today, the full Board of Aldermen, they did pass resolution number 96 after there were some tweaks to the language. So yeah, subpoena power. The next highlight I wanted to mention was the potential for the establishment of a detention facility oversight board. So real quick, let's rewind. Former Mayor Lyda Crewson, she established this task force that was investigating, all the stuff that was going down with the city jail. They was rioting every other week, et cetera, to really get to the root cause of what the hell was going on over there, and also to develop some recommendations to really alleviate all of the stuff that was popping off over there to make it better. And so the task force that was created, one of their recommendations was to establish through ordinance a detention facility oversight board. So if this occurs, this oversight board will, quote, be authorized to receive and investigate complaints of misconduct and certain incidents occurring in the city's detention facilities, investigate patterns of misconduct and systemic problems. They'll also have, you guessed it, subpoena power. They will function as an advisory board to the mayor and the Board of Aldermen, and they may make recommendations regarding detention facility operations and conditions, training, and disciplinary actions for the Division of Corrections employees, as well as some policy changes. And they will report directly to the mayor. So there was some discussion around this legislation, this bill as well. Alderwoman Davis and some others, they expressed, hey, they said, we're not sure if this is even needed, if it's serving as an advisory board. Also, they expressed some concerns around the legalities when it comes to disciplining city employees, right, and personnel. So yeah, the conclusion The bill will be placed on pause for now until some of those things are fleshed out a bit more. And then the last like highlight I wanted to mention was my ward reduction update. Hello. So this week, the Legislative Committee, they actually reviewed some census data, data from the 2020 census, because they will use this information to shape this plan that they will develop with regards to, changing these ward boundaries and reducing the wards from 28 to 14. So honestly, most of the information really wasn't surprising for me. So the city population decreased compared to 2010. So now, then in 2010, we were at 319,000 folks. Now we're at around 301,000. Wards with the most population loss, and we're talking over 2,000 folks in each ward, they were all on the north side. And specifically, the neighborhoods with the most population loss were Baton, Greaterville, O'Fallon, Wells Goodfellow, Walnut Park East, Jeff Vanderloo, and Penrose. Now, the wards with the highest population gain were more so, centrally located in a little south. So, but specifically, the neighborhoods that had the highest population gain, and I'm talking over 1,000 folks, downtown, midtown, central west end. Now, there is also presented the racial and ethnic breakdown regarding population loss. So of all of the racial and ethnic groups in the city of St. Louis, the Black population had the largest population decline. Since 2010, 27,000 Black St. Louisans have left the city of St. Louis, y'all. Something that I did find surprising was that there were 3 neighborhoods, they had some growth, population growth. However, you had more white folks moving in and the Black people leaving. So these specific neighborhoods were Shaw. They had a loss of about 1,300 Black St. Louisans. Tower Grove South had a loss of about 1,200 Black folks. And then Tower Grove East had a loss of about 900 Black St. Louisans. Now, so that was the census data, but as far as just the ward reduction process in this plan, the plot thickens because I don't know if y'all heard, but Prop R will officially be on the ballot for a special election on April 5th, 2022, y'all. So basically, what does this mean? This means that city residents will decide if this year's, redistricting effort, which also includes ward reduction, if that responsibility will still go towards the Board of Aldermen, or instead, if that effort will be led by an independent citizen redistricting committee. Yes, y'all. So more to come on the ward reduction update next week. And then the last thing, yes, we are rounding it out with the legislative corner. 3 bills were passed authorizing honorary street names. So first, Michael McMillan Way. It will begin at the intersection of Aubert and Page, run north on Aubert to the intersection of Aubert and MLK Drive. The second one, Captain David Dorn Way, will begin at the intersection of MLK and Sarah, run north on MLK Drive to the intersection of MLK and Whittier. And then third, of course, William Lacey Clay Boulevard will begin at the intersection of Natural Bridge and Fair. It will run west along Natural Bridge to the intersection of Natural Bridge and Newstead. That's all I have for y'all this week, folks. Please be safe. Have a great weekend, and you'll see me soon. Peace.